You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello, and welcome to episode 277 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode of Soul Forge. I'm your host Sean, and with me today is a very, very special guest, my youngest brother, Robin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm alright, how are you doing?
Oh, I am just ducky.
You are, aren't you?
Full of joy, excitement, happiness.
So, are we doing a podcast about lies this
Yes,
week?
we are.
Ah.
Yes, we are.
Because the last time you were on the show, you actually were all of those things.
I was.
And
I
now,
was those things.
And now you're not.
And now I'm not.
Is it seasonal depression?
It has, that's part of it. Seasonal depression. The winter has been barbaric the last couple of weeks. And it's really taken a toll on the old mental health.
Hey, you lived up in Timmins with me over the winter.
I did.
It was worse up there.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here in the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada, Northern Ontario, It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's been kind of gross.
Yeah, it has been kind of Timmins-like the last few days.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awful. Didn't like it.
Do you think it's the cold that is...
It's the cold, it's the wind, it's the never-ending snow. It's...
It has been snowing a lot.
Yeah. And I'm over it.
Are you over it?
Oh, I'm so over it.
Are you ready for spring?
I am more than ready for spring. That's why my name is Robin.
Ah, very good.
I'm popping up around the corner here.
And you know what else is also popping up around the corner?
What's that?
Your birthday's coming up in a couple days.
Yes, it is. The big 3-7.
And by the time this episode comes out, your birthday will already have passed.
Yes, indeed.
But that's not the point.
That's not the point.
We're recording before the release date. So there you go. Anyway, what do you have planned for your 37th birthday?
A whole lot of nothing right now.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to be working that day?
I will be working that day, so I will be spending the day at work.
Regale the listeners with your place of employment.
I am now the full-time Best Buy appliance sales advisor.
Ah.
Yes.
And how's that going for you?
Good, actually. That's going well.
It's almost been 4 months.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 4 months since I started there.
And you still have a job.
And I still have a job.
Which is unusual.
Very unusual. Things are going well on the job front, which is nice.
Very good.
Everything else, kind of falling apart around me, but nothing I'm not used to.
Do you want to talk about it?
I do and I don't. So this is what I will touch upon. So the last time I was on this podcast, we were talking, and I was mentioning how quite happy I was with things.
I do recall this.
And things were going well. And then, not to anybody's surprise, but...
Much to your chagrin.
Much to my chagrin, what happened really, it's...
Well, let's just spit it out. You had...
I found myself in a situationship.
Yes. You had the makings of a nice relationship.
Yes. So I thought.
Right.
I thought things were going well. Everything seemed to be hunky-dory. And...
it turns out it was actually hunky diarrhea.
Yes, hunky diarrhea. That's a good way to put it. So...
but things were good for quite a while.
A few months. And it was nice. I was enjoying all of that. Basically, so... just... We'll just shoot it out here. Things ended abruptly right before Christmas.
That's sad.
It is sad. Which, it sucked, but it's not my first rodeo, so
Actually, how long had it been since you were in a relationship before this one?
Years?
Yeah,
Years.
quite a while, eh?
Quite a while. After I moved back to the Sioux, after living in Timmins with you, and I'm sure your listeners already are aware of all this, but they're not aware of this part. So I moved back to the Sioux, and I just was focusing on myself.
Yep.
And wasn't worrying about relationships or anything of that nature. I was staying to myself, trying to make trying to build my life and trying to build things for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I denied every advance that came my way.
That must have taken some willpower.
It took a little, but I really had no interest in anyone in that manner or those feelings. So I was running the show solo, and that's fine.
You were quite content.
I was quite content.
You had your little basement apartment.
Yep.
You had your T-shirt making business.
Yep. And, things were going okay. But anyways, there's always those people in your life that you meet. Doesn't matter how long ago you met them.
Mm-hmm.
You just have feelings towards them. Right?
Like an instant connection kind of thing?
Instant connection type of thing. And that's kind of what happened here. And it was, almost too good to be true, it felt like.
Oh, no.
And it was something that I really wanted to pursue, but, it blew up in my face. I tried my darndest to rekindle things. I was doing things that I don't normally do.
That's true.
I've completely changed and evolved in that manner. But even in defeat, I took the high road, went about things where normally how I wouldn't. But where that leaves me now is just, hey.
That leaves you listening to this promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
I'm George from the Metal Geeks. I just want to let you know, if you're looking for a place where we can chat about the coolest and the geekiest of things, comic books, movies, especially heavy metal, then you're not looking for anything else except for our show, Metal Geeks, where I'm always right and Carrie sometimes right, especially when it comes to movies. We're there having a good time, me, Dave, and Carrie, talking about geeky stuff and metal. I repeat, metal meets geeky. Metal Geeks.
What an awesome promo.
And doesn't that make you feel better?
Oh, it makes me feel so much better.
Puts a smile on your face.
Puts a smile on my face.
And that's when you realize everything is not that bad.
Everything is not that bad.
But you know what I did notice? I noticed that you've been sharing a lot of positivity memes and perseverance and getting over things.
Yes.
And that reminded me of exactly where I was after my marriage fell apart. And all I did was share memes and try to make myself feel better.
You got to do what you got to do.
And it was like looking into a mirror. I'm like, I think these are some of the same memes that I shared all those years ago.
Yeah, perhaps they were similar in a sense.
So a similar healing journey.
Yes.
So I can tell you, you will come out shinier on the other side.
Yep.
It might take a while.
It might take a while.
Because this girl, you liked her for, years and years before anything happened.
Yep. I wished many nights for a long time for something to happen between the two of us. And while it did, it wasn't under the best situation.
Okay.
Pretenses, I guess you could say. Things were kind of, it is what it is. But I found myself happy and wanting to pursue this long term, which is completely out of left field for me.
Yeah, that's not like you at all.
Not like me at all.
You're Mr. Wham Bam, thank you, ma'am.
I used to be.
Yeah.
But like I said, I the last few years I've just been.
You growed up.
I growed up. I done growed up. It does happen. But I guess it's just not meant to be. And that's...
It's not meant to be with this one.
Yeah, true. Or with anyone, perhaps.
You don't know.
Oh, well.
You don't know anything. The universe is wide open. And as long as the nukes don't drop before civilization ends, you'll be okay.
Yeah. But can the nukes drop, though?
Would you like that?
I would be a big fan, actually.
Do you want to be a zombie apocalypse wasteland survivor?
You're damn right I do.
Oh.
I'm kind of ready for it.
Okay.
Ever since I was a young little boy, and I read this in a book that I had, it was about the sun. And it told me in like 4 billion years the sun is going to expand.
Yes.
And it's going to end up turning turning into a white dwarf.
After it consumes the inner planets.
After it consumes all the planets near it and toasts the Earth to nothing. And I always said to myself, I really wish I could be around to watch the end of the world. Okay. But I meant like 4 billion years from now to watch that happen. I know that's not going to happen. I'm not going to live that long.
Unless you build yourself an android robot and download your consciousness.
Yes, but I don't have the bank account that Elon Musk does, so I cannot.
Right.
So therefore, I'm taking the next best thing, and I'm watching the world end and fall apart in my lifetime right now, so I'm getting my wish to a degree.
You sound very excited about
I kind of am, because this is exciting. Let's go.
That's kind of morbid.
It is morbid, but, I've had enough.
Have you?
I have.
You're only 37.
37 years of bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
That many years?
Yeah.
It hasn't been all bad.
It hasn't been all bad, but...
You got to live with me for a year and a half.
Oh, that was a pretty good year.
Yeah. See? Whatever it is, it can't be that bad.
Whatever it is, it can't be that bad.
It can't be.
No.
I said this prior to us going on the air, but I know I'll get through it. I'm just tired of going through it.
Because you've been going through it for a while.
Because I've been going through it for a long while. And it's time for things to turn around, time for things to change.
It is time for things to change. But you know what we won't change? This promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
What will you do when your child asks?
What were Saturday morning cartoons?
What were Saturday morning cartoons? What's wrong with you?
Or will you handle it the right way?
Sit down, baby girl. Let me introduce you to my friend Mark McCrae.
Join Dan Klink and I on the Best Saturdays of Our Lives podcast as we take a unique behind-the-scenes look at the history and dynamics of animation with plenty of laughs along the way.
The Best Saturdays of Our Lives podcast is a proud member of the ESO Network.
Look at that. 2 promos at the same episode.
2 promos. Wow, we're just filling them up.
I figured we would because as we're changing the topic now into your coping mechanisms, you were telling me about this note under the pillow kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that and where you got the idea from.
Oh, well, so as all your listeners know, you and I are both avid TikTok TikTokers.
I blame you.
You blame me because I got you going on the TikTok and you blew up and went viral.
Like I mentioned last week.
Yep.
Just for an update, we're at 11.1 million views.
Which is insanity.
Over 36,000 comments, almost 1 million likes. I don't know, 60,000 favoritings and all kinds of comments and stitching and duets with the video.
I'm you know what, I'm quite happy for you though. I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, I gained like 7,500 followers because of it.
Shit.
I can go live. I haven't yet, but
well,
it's still.
I'm still working to get 1,000. I'm at like 600 followers.
I was forever until this stupid video.
So I've been doing a lot of TikTok videoing and TikToks this past couple of weeks myself.
Yeah.
Just kind of doing whatever, just I'm a creative person, so it helps for me and my own healing and spiritual journeys to just create shit and get it out there. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, I don't care. I think it's funny, so I do it.
That's why I started it, just to amuse myself.
Yes, and sometimes that's what you got to do. Is just amuse yourself.
Exactly.
So anyways,
you've been doing a lot of TikToking and watching TikToks.
And every time I open my TikTok, especially over the last month or so, it's been
the tarot cards.
The tarot cards. Tarot cards for days.
Yes.
Every TikTok I open and I scroll.
Wait. Don't scroll, because this message is for you if you're listening to it.
That's right.
Especially before this date.
Yes.
Yeah, they always say that.
If this is landing on your page before this date or on this date, then this message is for you. Blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And it's been constant. But not only that, but the numbers on the clocks.
Oh?
The numbers. By the numbers.
Like
oh my goodness.
11-11.
11-11. And I've been seeing these numbers for quite a few years, but it's like increased more so in the last year and within the last few months.
And do you make a wish every time you see it?
No, I don't make a wish every time I see it, but I'm getting 11-11, I'm getting 12-12, I'm getting 10-10, I'm getting triple ones, triple twos, triple threes,
so all
triple
the
four,
triples.
all of them. And it's driving me a little insane. And so anyways...
I thought you were a little bit touched today.
You thought what?
A little bit off.
Yeah, I'm a little bit off today. Moving forward with that, I've read all about the spiritual numbers and the angel numbers and and it's messages and you gotta be open to receive your message. Okay.
Are you open?
I thought I've been open. I've been trying to be open. Been trying to decipher it all, but nothing makes sense.
Oh.
It's constantly on my TikTok, and then I saw a TikTok about how to release and do affirmations in order to make yourself heal or let go of things.
Okay.
Try to focus on bringing what you want to you. And there was, it's all part of the...
Oh, like the power of attraction.
Power of attraction, law of attraction, all those things. And so I took it upon myself last night before I went to bed to take a sheet of paper, do a list of things that I release, and then on the other side of the page, a list of affirmations starting with I am, and I put that under my pillow like it suggested, and it's supposed to get your subconscious to believe all that. And then so when you wake up, you're supposed to have a better day, and you feel like all of that is working. I don't know if it's working. It hasn't quite worked yet, but I only tried it once, so maybe I'll do that again tonight.
Good idea. A new paper or a different?
Maybe the same, or maybe a new paper.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell the listeners about your own tarot TikTok.
Oh, my own tarot
That
TikTok.
was hilarious.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. You can find that video on TikTok. Just look me up, Rubino Heat.
All one word?
All one word. And so I have a bunch of Marvel and Spider-Man trading cards that I've collected since I was a kid. And after seeing so many of these TikToks with the tarot cards, I finally lost it. And I said, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them.
So you did.
So I did. And I did my own reading with my Spider-Man cards, which was hilarious.
It was mildly amusing for sure.
Yep. So I think I'm going to do a few more of those.
Yeah, you'll get better at it as you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Because your idea was there.
Yeah, the idea was there. The execution wasn't the best, but
it was your first one.
It was my first one.
So
the first pancake is always the crappiest.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So you're just doing things to amuse yourself.
I have to, yeah.
And to heal.
Yes, because I'm a broken boy.
Are you a broken boy?
I think I am. And no matter what I do and try to heal and try to get myself better, and I think if we went through all of the episodes that I've been on, it's very back and forth.
It is.
It's very wishy-washy.
Like a seesaw.
Like a seesaw.
Like teeter-totter.
Like a teeter, yeah. And so sometimes I'm in great spirits and great mood, and I'm happy, and life is great, and I got it by the horns, and I'm going to...
You were going to say balls.
I was going to say balls. But then other episodes, you'll find that life has me by the balls.
Yes.
And
you're a sad, sad man.
A sad, sad man.
Right.
Very sad.
So
tear down my eye.
You should tattoo that.
Yeah.
Just like your dad.
Just like my dad.
No, you shouldn't.
No, I will not.
Good boy. So what's the next step?
Honestly, I don't have a clue.
Oh.
I never know what the next step is. Day by day. That's how I take it.
Well, that's probably your best bet. So if you had a message to the listeners, what would you tell them?
Well, I have a lot of different messages I could tell your listeners.
Okay.
You know, one of them being follow your intuition. It's usually right.
Okay.
Be prepared to have your heart broken and stomped on.
Well, that's a fun one.
That's a fun one. But really, just find something that gives you joy and pursue that.
Pursue joy.
Pursue joy. Pursue the things that make you happy.
Are you happy? Or are you angry and sad?
I'm a mixture of emotions. It's a happy face on the outside, and it's a sad one on the inside.
Are you like a Russian nesting doll?
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy on the outside and all the layers on the inside?
That's right. I'm like an ogre and an onion. Yes.
Yes, there you go.
Okay, what are you doing in my swamp? Yeah, no, I don't know. I really don't have advice for anyone because I'm the last person you should be taking any advice from.
Wait a second.
However,
you're
with that said,
you're a life coach.
I am a life coach. I was just going to bring that up. You know, I haven't actually used it in anything, and I really got to start practicing what I learned from it to help myself. But maybe Coach Cool can jump on TikTok and help you out, because maybe I should start doing some TikToks of life coaching. Maybe, perhaps.
You should have a secondary account.
I should have a secondary account.
That might be a good idea.
That might be a good idea. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure there's been quite a few of the listeners of the Soul Forge podcast that will say, don't listen to this guy, he's lost his mind. And you know what? Thank you, because you're probably right.
You've lost your freaking marbles.
I lost my marbles. But I always reground myself and take my power back, and I continue to march forward towards the flames. Let's go.
Flames of destruction or flames of rebirth?
They could be either at this point.
Either way, your advice to the listener is keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward.
Close your eyes and just keep going. Push
That's
through.
Right. Shield wall.
There you go. Shield wall. Yeah.
I've always actually, I'll touch on this, and I don't know if I've ever mentioned this before, but
are you a Viking?
My bloodline carries the Viking, so yes, I am a Viking.
Nice.
The way I've always looked at life and all of its trials and tribulations. And you start off young, right? And you've got a good, strong, thick suit of armor on you.
Yeah.
But as life's, and you go through it, your armor
is taking a lot of hits.
Taking a lot of beatings. And by the time you hit 37, your armor is pretty well thin right out, broken, shattered, full of holes, cracked, not quite where it was
when you started
in life.
But does your experience kind of balance it out?
Yes, in a way. But so the armor of life that you use to protect yourself takes the beating. And sometimes it'll shatter, sometimes it'll break, sometimes it'll completely vanish, yes. The trick is to hold your head up high and just keep holding on, and whatever pieces of armor that you have left, that's what you use to just keep going.
So this has been Battle Strategy with Life Coach Cool.
That's right.
Very nice.
So going forward, yes, ladies, I am single.
Rubino Heat on TikTok. That's awesome.
Whether I actually want to pursue that or not, that's an entirely different thing. I might not for a while.
Good call.
Because relationships and me are just not. It's like oil and water. I find
you're a damaged unit.
I am a damaged. Well, y'all are though.
Oh, who is?
We're all damaged.
Yeah.
You just gotta be able to accept the damage
and carry on. Maybe you need to listen to what you're saying and take your own advice and get out of your funk.
I'm trying.
Good boy.
The first step is always to admit and recognize.
Yeah.
Right?
Aren't you just a pile of cliches today?
I'm something.
Awesome.
I'm rattled, but it's fine.
It's fine. Yes, it's always fine.
While, there's that meme, right, of the dog sitting in the kitchen and everything's on fire, it's fine. It's fine. That's it.
That's you.
That's me. 100%.
I know.
Things falling apart, but
it's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right.
The good news that I can share is I recently got a vehicle again.
You did, after 3 years.
After 3 years, my 3 years of self-exile and isolation has come to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's time for this phoenix to rise from the ashes and fly again.
Very nice. And with that, I think that's a perfect spot to end it.
I agree.
So listeners, I hope you enjoyed this Rubino Heat update. Follow him on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok at Soulforge Podcast if you're not already. And other than that, take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, it's 2:22 as we're ending the show. And
if you've never lost your mind, then you've never followed your heart.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soulforge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. And don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soulforge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
One day, I was angry and upset. But I went to the club, I sat, watched the show. but never saw it. I just sat and stewed. Suddenly, I looked up, and this beautiful dancer is leaning down over the stage and looking right into my eyes. And she said, "Whatever it is, it can't be that bad." And then she kissed me. Right here. Mr. Garibaldi, whatever it is, it can't be that bad.
You try and kiss me and I'll break your arm.
We're not that close, Mr. Garibaldi.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.